All right. And I believe we are live. So we're about to go ahead, and I'm sure hopefully some people are trickling in, get to the call review here. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Christian Polk. This is Jake. He's one of my clients. And really, all I focus on this YouTube channel is how to become the absolute best at sales, closing the most amount of people as possible. And I believe the best way to actually learn and hone in your sales skills is by dissecting real life sales calls on what went well, what we could do better. So in today's live stream, you can go in, put in questions, but we're going to be diving into one of Jake's call, and he has a fitness program that he goes ahead and sells. All right. Now see if I actually can't go live in Instagram as well. Let's see how it goes. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into the call. Let's go ahead and pull that up here. And then just for everyone, Jake, what exactly like do you sell? The type of clientele, just so we have a little bit of background on what it is you sell.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I run an online fitness coaching business, and I basically sell fitness coaching to aspiring and current serving military, police, and first responders. So I help people that want to improve their physical fitness so that they can get into their dream career as in the army or the police or like whatever that might be.
Okay, perfect. So let us start it from the top. I'll run it at like 1.5x speed, and then we'll just go through because this was a call that did this call close or not close?
Didn't close.
Okay, didn't close. So let's just run through things maybe we did well, things that we can improve on, and let's take it from there.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for jumping on the call with me.
All good. How's your day been?
And you can hear that?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, busy. Yeah, work today. So yeah, I'm wanting to make a career change. So it's a bit hard, and I've mentally checked out of this job because I want to pursue this. So
You work in childcare right now?
Yeah. It's hard.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you can use it as motivation as well, right? To get into the job that you want to be in.
Definitely, that's it.
Cool. Well, look, let's dive in. I mean, obviously, I have a pretty rough idea as to why you're here, just based off like our previous conversation. But bring me up to speed. Like, was it more of the content that you had seen, or something about our chat that sort of brought you to the call today?
Yeah, definitely. I think it came down to the content. You actually came up in my feed, so when you're going through the reels and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, because it immediately when you said,
I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. If you're messing with the audio at all. Okay.
Wait.
Beat test in one of your videos. I thought that's what I need help with the most at the moment. So that's what drawn me to you. But yeah, hopefully I can get it down pat. It's just more so I think mentally and physically. It's not just the physically. It definitely comes down to the mental side of things too, getting motivated and into a good routine.
Okay. And yes, because you said you have like a bit of a timeline that you're working on, like a fitness assessment that you're having to pass by, you say like end of November, or when was it?
Yeah. So soon.
Yeah, and then something I do want to specify. So you specifically help people who are looking to get into like specific physical jobs, more like first responder jobs, right?
Yeah, so they're required to pass like a fitness test, which has specific components, etc.
Okay, so not only help them with their health, maybe lose weight, but also there's a job proponent to it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And like, have you attempted this before, or is this like your first time?
This is the first time. Yeah. So I have looked up that if you don't pass the PCT test, you will get a chance to redo it in a few weeks. But I don't really want to take that as I can just kind of get away with, doing this the first time. And then I've always got this to lean on. I kind of want to just pass it first go.
Yeah, that's and just because like there's so many different acronyms and every state is different and every service is different, but so New South Wales Police is you're going into, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And when was the last time you practiced the beep test?
Probably just about a week ago.
Yep. And you said you got like early 4s or something?
So it's like right now, I would want to get a bit of a better picture on like what the exact thing she is looking for, like out of what it is that she's looking for your help for before I start to dive into the specifics. Just because if you have a better understanding of it, then you can understand like, hey, are these specifics actually necessary in this conversation, or are they not necessary? Like rather than just like going straight into the specifics without actually understanding like what the overarching goal is. Do you get what I mean?
So, could you give me like an example of like a better question I should have asked at this point?
Yeah, so it's like normally at the very beginning, it's like, hey, what made you want to go ahead and book in? And in terms of any potential help, do you know what type of help you're actually looking for? That's generally like 95+% of the time, like how I'm going to open my calls. Just so I can get an overarching goal of like what they are actually looking for. So that way, then I can know like what are the specific things I actually need to ask that are going to make sense. So I don't spend time talking about irrelevant information. Now, if you do spend some time talking about irrelevant information, it's not going to make it to where it's like this sale is dead. But what can happen is if the call just goes longer than it should, you can run into issues. One, you can't take as many calls as you'd want. And then the longer the call goes on, that's where you can run into like think about objections because you just talk about so much. So I would just be careful of like not diving into it before I know that's what I need to know. Does it make sense? Right. Okay, cool.
Something, or where are you at?
Yeah, early 4s. Yeah.
Okay. Then what about the other components? Because I believe it's like, isn't there like planking, push-ups, maybe like an agility
Yeah.
test?
Yeah, I've been practicing my push-ups. You can do them on your knees for PCT, but once you go to Goulburn, you'll have.
Okay, hearing a lot of feedback. Oh, I don't know why.
Can you
do it on your toes. So I have been
That's
practicing
good.
on the knees just because I find that easier. So if I can conquer that and
No, there's just a lot of feedback. Like every time I play it, I think it's coming out of your speaker and then it's coming back in through your microphone. So however you had it before, it wasn't going through. But like now, yeah.
I haven't changed anything, so I'm not sure.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Right, it's still
Okay,
doing it.
cool. No, I think it's fine. Okay, cool.
do that, then I can start practicing for the next stage. But
no.
just trying to do it on my knees, and that's been
Fair,
fine. I've got
okay.
about 20, so I'm not too worried. So I think I will manage to get to the 25 mark, which they want. And then with the planking, I can do that with 90 seconds. So
Okay,
within
so
90
you need to be able to do full push-ups from the toes eventually when you get to the academy.
yeah.
So would you say that, like, in addition to
Yeah.
improving your beep test and your cardio, like probably just like improving strength and endurance overall as well, would you say?
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
wouldn't hurt to improve on those areas too, would it? You know,
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, that's a bonus.
it's good to remember
Yeah, there's
that.
just a lot of feedback. I don't know where it's coming from, man.
Let me see if I can change the.
Do you have headphones or something?
Yeah. Give me a sec.
Hopefully that helps. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead. Let's pick it back up.
PCT is just the bare minimum, right? Like, I mean, ideally, you want to be well and truly above that, not just for passing that in the academy, but when you're actually doing the job too.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
so what are you doing right now to like get your beep test score up, improve your push-ups, and improve your fitness overall?
So I have been going to the gym, and I do a
And again, like you're telling her that just naturally, I would rather get her to tell me, or at least ask it in a way that she can more buy into it. So it's like, yeah, of course you want to do it like for the test, but you also want to be a lot more fit, like when you're actually on the job. Right. So it's like, I can ask that in a way that makes it very, very hard for her to choose that she just wants to do the bare minimum. So do you want to be one of those types of people who just like does the bare minimum and skates by the test? Or do you want to be the type of people who actually, go above and beyond? That way they're really good at their job. Oh, I definitely want to go above and beyond. Like I'm still like, rather than me just putting it on them, I'm getting them to answer the question. And then I can always back it up the why. Just because I don't want to put too much on her. I don't want it to be too much of my idea when it comes to this stuff. So I just want to make sure I'm asking and I'm getting their buy-in rather than telling them. Okay. Because what can happen, especially with like very agreeable people, they'll just say yeah, but it's like they're not actually like bought in too much to the idea. It's not theirs, it's more yours. Of going more like beyond. You get what I mean?
I totally know what you mean. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, makes sense.
Okay, cool.
About 3 or so Ks run wise on the treadie each time I go, and then I just do a bit of a workout. That's kind of like what I do need assistance with, is coming up with some different ideas on what I can do at the gym that's going to be beneficial for me to complete the PCT. But I do a lot of group classes as well. So Coaching Zone, I don't know if you're familiar with that at Genesis Gym, the Coaching Zone that they do. It's like F45. So it's
similar to F45.
Yeah, similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How many days per week are you working out on average?
3. I'd like it.
Now, something you can start doing immediately, again, if we're wanting to create more doubt, because she's already doing something. So if we're going to replace what she's currently doing, we need to start creating doubt in what she's currently doing. So she's saying she's doing something like group training and different things like that. I'll immediately label it basic. Okay, so you're doing some of more of the basic group training stuff. And then I'll just like move on, just to start to see little bits of doubt in her mind about what she's currently doing. Okay, because she's not somebody who's not doing nothing. So we do need to poke holes in what she's currently doing.
Be more than that.
Right. Okay. And well, you said that you were working with a coach recently as well, and you stopped that.
Yeah. So I was doing online coaching. I don't know if you've heard of Within Reach, but I just didn't find that their workouts were challenging me enough. And to be honest, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to still figure out. I don't know if it was just that type of forum, or if online coaching isn't really benefiting me as such. I don't kind of want to rule it out just based off one experience, but I did struggle with the aspect of not having them in person, because I've used PTs in the past and found it a bit more beneficial to me than online. And I did get a little bit bothered by all the messages and calls and things like that. I know it's your only way of communicating with people, but I did find that a little bit annoying at times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, fair enough. I guess it's important to remember that not every online coaching program is the same, right? So like it depends on a lot of factors, but I mean, and we don't need to get into it.
Yeah, so I wouldn't try to get too bogged down to like different programs that she's not currently doing. Just right now in this section, I just want to understand, what is she currently doing and why does she feel like it's not enough? What's missing in that current thing she's doing? So that way I can start to pull out the problems. Then once I have more of the leverage of like what's not working, then I can go like, okay, what have you tried before but actually solving this problem? And that way I can be a little bit more pointed, so I don't like go back and forth. Because like the issue is with something like right there, for example, if we really need to like push back, let's say we dig beneath the layer in terms of like this online program, and she really needs a reframe or for us to shift her beliefs on like online training. We don't really have much leverage because we haven't talked about like what she doesn't have, what the problems are, how she's coming up short currently. So it would just be too early to go into that, especially if she does need to like some pushback right now, right? Well, she might need, but like that's why we need to just get into that later.
Too much, but like what was the level of communication? Like how frequently were you like chatting with your, like was it like an assigned coach, like 1-to-1, or like how did it work?
Yeah, so it was 1-to-1. They did have a group.
What was that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like this just went way too long at the start. I was trying to like create more problems in her mind by planting seeds and stuff. And I swear I don't normally do that. This call was not good. So
yeah. No, dude, and it happens. Like not every call is going to go exactly the same every single time, but just so everyone just can have a general understanding of like how the fitness structure like goes. This is typically like how it's going to go. Now, his is a little bit different because it's not, generally speaking, a weight loss goal. It's more of like reaching physical demand so they can get a job. So it's a different type of goal, but most fitness structures, you're focusing on weight loss, right? So it's like, hey, what made you want to go ahead and book in? Just so we're on the same page, what caused you to book in? What type of help are you looking for? And how much are you actually looking to lose? For her, it'd be a little bit different. Like, hey, what's the main thing we're looking to achieve with improving our, health and our fitness? She wants to achieve the outcomes. And then just more short and concise situation, which you did, but then we started veering off into a bunch of just logical stuff. And we're just going down like rabbit holes without the leverage. And then since she is doing something, we need to start poking holes in what she's currently doing. So it's like, hey, what's missing, or what makes you feel like your current program isn't enough? Something along those lines. And then we're able to start poking holes and then like push the call forward. So that's generally speaking, that's what we're going to want to go ahead and do. I wasn't showing that at all. So it's like, again, we have the like, hey, why are you here? The situation. And then in the problem, we just want to go ahead and poke holes in what they're currently doing. So that way, especially if you're replacing, they're currently doing something, you're replacing what they're currently doing. They need to have doubt in what they're currently doing if they're going to replace it. Now, if they're not doing something at the moment, then you can skip this part. If like we're talking about fitness and you just go into like, hey, why is this so important for you? But since she is doing something, we need to poke holes in it. Like, hey, why is your current program, why is your current regime not enough for you? All right. So that's generally speaking how we would go about it. So let's go back and dive into the call. I gotta StreamYard's fun. Okay. Add to the stage. Here we go.
Have a group chat with all the coaches and just myself. But it would be a matter of every day messaging, hey, you didn't put your meals in the chat because you meant to log each meal. I was really slack with that. Because you just forget, you just eat your food. Like you don't really want to take a photo of it. Yeah, and also just, did you get to the gym today? You didn't video yourself. I found that really hard because I would just forget. I'd just go in there, I'd do my thing, get out kind of thing. I'm not that type of person to want a video as well, but at the same time, it's your only communication. So that's why I kind of figured maybe it's not for me. I don't know. I don't want to rule it out completely over one experience, but
check-in calls and stuff like periodically or anything like that, or
we did have the odd check-in calls every now and then, but I feel as if we weren't
down into
talking
the rabbit hole
much about what needed to be talked about. Whereas you form what didn't you like about the workouts? Like there was no those type of questions where I probably would have liked to talk more about that. It was more, okay, why haven't you been logging your meals?
Well, it sounds like more so just nagging you constantly of like, why didn't you do this?
It felt like a nag than anything, but I couldn't fault them for that because it works for some people clearly because they've got a good rap, but I just didn't find them beneficial for me.
Well, again, different factors at play, right? And also you mentioned like the workouts themselves. I mean, obviously they need to be challenging and they need to be specific to you. I mean, really, I'm trying to ask you a few questions initially just to get a better understanding of like where you're at, where you want to be, and if I feel like I can help you. And then like if I feel like what I do makes sense, I can kind of break that down. And then from there, if you feel like it makes sense, we can talk about what that would look like.
I'm cringing.
Do you deliver online coaching? But again, I don't like to blanket online coaching under don't compare apples with oranges per se. And it's also I'm not there with my.
But just understand, like we invited this conversation. Right.
Clients holding them by the ear, telling them to go and do push-ups all day, every day. But we do have a pretty solid accountability system in place that I can get into later on the call. I also think that there are some benefits to online coaching as well in respect that
like now we're just more
you're sort of building that self-accountability, which is also what's going to really set you for long term. Because and I'm not saying that you're like this, but if people get into that mindset where they feel like they always need somebody physically with them to like go and do an effective workout or make progress, that can be a slippery slope because like there's not always going to be somebody there. Not like physically there, like dragging you to the gym or whatever. So if you can have that self-accountability and rely on yourself, that's what's going to set you up, not just for 12 weeks, but for 6 months.
Because it's like the issue is right here is like, if you had more leverage in terms of her problems and like her not getting her outcomes, you can be a little bit more straightforward. Well, can I share a perspective? Like, since we haven't been able to reach our goal in XYZ amount of time frame, just the way that we have been doing it, would you be open to somebody holding you more accountable so that way we can just guarantee we get that right? Like you at least have something to go off of. But since we haven't even really explored what her problems are, what's missing in her current regime, how long the problem's been going on for, why it's important for her to actually get the job, like all these different things, we don't really have much to work with. We know that like, hey, maybe online programs isn't for me. We know we need to handle it, but we have no leverage to handle it with. So that's the issue right here. And that's why you feel like you just need to more convince, you need to more tell because you don't really understand her situation. So that's why I'm saying just don't get into these conversations early. Just understand more about what's going on and then we bridge into it.
Yeah, I feel like she kind of told me earlier like what her problems were, and I don't know, maybe I should have just like focused on that and then continued following my process.
Yeah. It's like what her problems are. Why is her like what she's currently doing? Why is it not enough in order to get her to where she wants to be? How long has she been training for? Right. And why is it actually important for her to get the job? Because if you understand why it's important for her to get the job, that's what she doesn't have now. So we can infer like there's problems there. So then once you have all of that,
because she already told me that she like at the very start of the call, she told me that she's mentally checked out of her job. She did
Yeah.
tell me when we started to get into problems, she told me that she felt like she just needed somebody to like give her like structured workouts and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how we got so far off track, really. But
Yeah. Yeah. But
so-
just to say this, if you do notice yourself getting off track, there's no rule to say like, yeah, and we can definitely cover that later, but I'm curious. And then you just go right back to where the last place you remember you should be. You had mentioned that you felt like you just needed more like structure in your workout plans. What makes you say that? Do you not feel like you have the current structure now? And then you're right back on point. And like generally speaking, if you do take notes, I would just write down like online program or something like that to remind you that you need to come back and check off that box.
Yeah, no, definitely. One of the things that the online coaches that I was using did, they did the same workouts roughly for about 4 weeks, and then they changed to a new set because it's building the strength in each body part. Is that something that you do as well?
Well, that's probably the only thing that you've said about what they do that is similar to what I do. Yeah, so like the phases are broken up into 4-week phases. So if it's like if it's a 12-week program, for example, it'll be phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And yeah, the reason why you do keep the same workouts for a 4-week period is because if you change,
And it's just natural since we opened up the conversation and started talking about ourselves. It's just natural for her to ask a question like this. Like now we're talking about our program. So it's just natural. She wants to know more about it. So if you are going to make statements to her like, oh, yeah, we help with this, we help with this, just rule of thumb, always finish off with a question. So that way, because like if you make a statement and then there's a lull there, just naturally she's gonna ask a question. Just like human beings communicate. So it's just like, okay, yeah, and this is typically how we work. But I'm curious, when you said you need more structure, you just right back on point. So that way she doesn't take control of the conversation. And then we just talk more and more about our program. Now, like we're on our back foot a bit.
it's good.
your workouts every single week, you're not giving yourself a chance to actually progress on
I
those
feel like we need to
exercises, you know, like
skip this part. I don't know.
Well, let's skip a couple minutes.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Okay, let's see.
well, I try. But going back to your approach then, so you said that right now you're doing like on average 3 workouts a week.
Yeah.
You only
And
did it for a few
how long have
minutes.
you been doing it like this or following this approach for?
Oh, probably the last couple months.
Couple months. Okay. And then
Yeah.
if we talk about your goals, like, you know, getting that beep test up.
Now, just normally, like she's very wishy-washy on the time frame. Probably like a couple months. Well, what's a couple? Are we talking 2, 3, 4? Like how many months? I just want to get a little bit more definite, just because it's like number one, it'll help you understand her actual situation better. But then I also want to train her to not be so vague. So that way, when you're going to talk to her about her problems or her future or her consequences, the entire rest of the process, I want her to be out of the habit of being vague. But if we just accept her being vague, she's more likely to be vague later on in the conversation.
Above the 7.1, improving your strength and just being better prepared for the police. Do you like the results that you are getting with the way you've been going about things the last couple months?
Probably in the past like few weeks, I think I've noticed a bit more because I've been doing more of the classes at the gym, and they provide a lot of variety, I guess, which gets me excited because I like all the different things. It's not the same each time, I guess. And we do a lot of circuits as well, and more of a social thing. So I think in terms of my mental state and physical, I've probably enjoyed it more doing those kinds of things in the last few weeks.
Okay. And what about like as far as seeing that transfer into like your running and your beep test and stuff?
I think that's where I'm looking for you to come into play a little bit so I can notice more of a difference. I think I'm still just a little bit stuck and it's not moving as quickly as I want it to. Yeah.
Well, fair enough. And, you know, I mean, you know, it's good on you for acknowledging that. But like, I guess for you, like, why do you feel like that is that, you know, you've been at this for a few months, you have seen some improvement, you're enjoying the group classes and stuff, but you're not quite.
Now, just naturally, when she says something that is a potential pain point, like one of those like answers that you'll probably hear quite a bit, like stuck, I'm always just going to want to get them to expand on it. Okay, so when you say stuck, like what do you mean by that exactly? Because that means different things to different people. And then I can start to get her to talk about it a little bit more, just so you get more context on the situation.
Yeah, that creates more gap too, right?
Yeah, because then she's like thinking about it more. Okay, she's talking about it more. She's thinking about it more. She has to actually rather than giving a bumper sticker like stuck. Like, what does stuck actually mean? Is she completely stagnant? Or like maybe just going up a little bit, not as fast as you want. Like, it'll just give you better context. But now we're on the right track, right? It just took us a while to get there, but now we're on the right track, which is good.
Seeing the needle move in the way that you want it to, as far as like your big test and those more specific goals?
I think probably lack of motivation. Just, I guess when I'm at the gym doing my own thing, it gets to a point where I'm like, oh, not feeling it today. I've kind of had enough type thing. And because I'm doing my own workouts, I can do that. Whereas if I'm following a strict guideline, it's more, no, I've got this and this to finish, and then I can go.
Okay.
So that might be a reason.
So not motivation as far as like not even going to the gym, like you are going, but when you're there, you feel like you're kind of just like going through the motions sort of thing.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's some days where I won't go, and I will just say I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow rolls around, and but I eventually do get there. It's just,
so generally speaking, I do not want to accept lack of motivation as a big key pain point by itself, especially in fitness. Why? Because let's say we go to the end of the conversation. Now, yours isn't like super high price, but let's say like you're going to charge her like $20,000. She could find motivation for less than 20K. You get what I mean? So I motivation is something to where people at least feel like when money is on the line or they get price shock or different things along those lines, like they can solve by themselves. So I never want to give them that out of its motivation, because when you're talking about motivation, if you thought about it, why do you feel like she's actually unmotivated?
Because she's not seeing the results that she wants to see.
Exactly. And why does she not have the results? She doesn't know what to do. So it's not that there's a lack of motivation and she just inherently has no motivation. If she just picked up her motivation, she'd be fine. No, it's this lack of motivation is only caused because you don't know what you're doing. And an easy reframe that I always do with that, it's like, hey, can I share a perspective on lack of motivation? Typically what I see when it comes to motivation, this is after working with like thousands of people, it's like a lottery ticket. If you have a winning lottery ticket, you knew like, hey, if I cash this in, I'm going to get $1 billion. How motivated are you to go cash it in? Even if it's like miles away, you're going to be pretty motivated, right? But on the other end, if you don't think it's going to win or you know it's going to lose, how motivated are you to go cash it in? There's no motivation there. So typically what I see is people just don't feel like they have the winning lottery ticket. They don't know how to actually get the results. Do you think that might be what you're running into? How do you see that being the case for you? Right?
Yeah, okay.
So, and then we can shift like, hey, lack of motivation, and just focus on the main thing is I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not getting results. So I don't fall into the trap of, well, I can get motivated by myself, right? Which is garbage.
some days I slack off.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one. I can assure you of that. All right. So do you feel like if I was able to give you a structure, that was more tailored towards getting into the police and maybe a bit of accountability there, to be able to not barrage you with messages and nag you all day, but to be able to check in and see like, are you doing the things? Like, are you getting your questions answered? If you had that structure and that support. Right. Something maybe similar in the past and it didn't quite.
Pause for a second.
I think just someone to hold me accountable, and not in a nagging sense, but how did you find this workout today? What did you like? What didn't you like? How can we? I think trainers put in just weight training, and I do like a lot of cardio. I prefer cardio over weight training because I find I'm a bit more weak in my arms and things like that. So I do prefer to do more of that. So yeah, if like you came up with a program that could meet that, I'd be more inclined to give it a go.
Yeah, my internet dropped.
Need to address her language of, yeah, if you have all these things, I'd be willing to give it a go. Well, it's like, hey, well, take us out of it, right? Because we can definitely talk about what we're doing over here. Like, are you actually, in a position that you want to go all in and you do want to change? I don't want to make it too much about us, because it makes her taking action No matter what, she needs to change. And then by extension, whatever you're pitching should solve all her problems. So we don't want to be focusing too much on the specifics. Now, when she said she does want to be held accountable, right, I'd always ask, like, okay, well, what do you mean by being held accountable? Right. And are you actually open to being held accountable? Because some people, they say they are, but then when it comes to push comes to shove, they aren't. Okay, fantastic. Because really, as a coach, it's my job to tell you what you need to hear, not always what you want to hear. I just want to make sure we're on the same page with that. I'm always going to put an accountability hook in there. That way, if I need to push back, right, especially in objection handling, I got the green light that they're open to be.
And I found with using it was a lot of that, which is probably what I need, but it didn't give me that rest period of doing the cardio that I want to do as well as that.
Yeah. Look, I think it's like one of the things that I'm hearing from you, and it's not just about, it's not like asking the questions and the communication was a bad thing. It's just more like the questions that were being asked and like the topics that were being discussed, you know? So at the end of the day, like my focus is always going to be on like, are we making progress towards our goal? And like, modify and adapt it to fit your preferences to a certain extent, but also just like your schedule and all that kind of stuff too, you know? So it's not like a one size fits all per se.
Yeah. No, definitely. Okay. That's all I ask. Yeah.
And if you could think about it, like what's got you, I mean, I guess it's like the timeline, right? I was wondering like what's maybe coming up for you that's making you feel like now's a good time to get that.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah.
Was there anything else, like any line in the sand moment for you recently where you just felt like, you know what, I really need to step it up? Or
I think when I got that score of 4 in the beak test, I was like, this is a wake up call that I really need to get on it.
Do you know when the test actually is?
She needs to be ready by November, so I think it was like she had like 2 months or something, like not a long time.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, if it's your side or mine, but yeah, she had like 2 months or something, 2 or 3 months.
I assume it's mine. My internet's been a little bit wonky.
Yeah.
But
2 to 3 months.
do we know like when her test is?
2 to 3 months. She had like 2 to 3
Okay.
months.
So it's 2 to 3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And just in this conversation, we haven't gotten out of her. Why is it so important for her to actually get this job, right? So it's like those are some of the hooks again that we can have to really make sure we get this across the line. But like the issue is we're just too much focused like internal on us, on the program, rather than her and her willingness to change.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Makes sense. Well, I guess, you know, we talked about some of the things that you would want to see in a program. Like alignment is the most important aspect to me, Emily, when it comes to people that I work with. So I guess like what would be some qualities that you would need to see from myself if you were going to be successful in this program?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
Yeah, well, like what could you have in place that would be really beneficial to you that you perhaps
Is that do you like that question or do you not like that question?
It's like typically I'm not going to ask the question like what they would need or just especially with coaching because like on some level they don't know what they need and we should be leading them anyways. So I very, very, very rarely will ask that question. I feel like you already have enough information to go off of that would really stand in for that type of question anyways.
Yeah. I feel like so a previous
so if anything, it's like a net neutral question. Like it doesn't really give me much because she's probably just going to repeat back to you what she already said she wanted.
Yeah.
But if anything, it's just more of like a waste of time, right? Like it doesn't really get me anything that I want, but now I'm allowing her to continue to put the focus on the program, which has been a problem up until this point.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me, right?
Oh, can't hear you.
How about now? Can you hear me now? Wait. Okay, have you got me now?
Nope.
Oh, don't worry. Just keep going.
Okay. we'll keep going. All right, see if you can figure out and just you can test it down there.
Getting a really good routine, and having my day laid out. That's something I do really struggle with is routine. I'm one of those people that'll stay in bed until the last minute I have to get up. So that's a really bad quality of mine. And yeah, someone to hold me accountable and yeah, just follow through with my workouts.
Okay, cool. Well, again, I appreciate the honesty today. You're you're taking ownership, which is good.
Yeah.
What's your work schedule like with your current job? Like, do you work the same hours every day, or?
I do, not at this week because it's in vacation care, so we're on school holidays. But of a normal work week, I work mornings up until 9:30, so 6:30 to 9:30, and then in the afternoons it's 2:30 to 6. But on Wednesdays and Fridays, I work pretty much an 11-hour shift, so pretty much all day.
Okay, cool. So like split shift some days and then sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, look, let's say we did work together, and let's imagine. I mean, I know you've got the assessment coming up at the end of November, and it is important to set realistic goals and realistic expectations. I'm not going to say that it's impossible to get you passing in that time frame, because when I think about what's a realistic time frame to achieve a goal, like we always need to take into consideration your starting point, like where you are now. So if you need to get past the 7.1 on the beep test and you're at like a 4.1, you've got a better chance than if you were at a 2.1, right? But like it's still like it's 3 levels, and it's going to be a bit of work. I can't say for sure that like we'll get you smashing it, but like it is definitely achievable. But it's not just about what's happening over the next 4 weeks. Like even if we look, let's say 12 weeks from now, we get you to a place where you've improved on your beep test, you're more motivated, you're more consistent, you actually have that structure with your workouts. You're not just kind of like winging it, or just kind of like putting it together on the fly. If you were able to get to that place and see those improvements, what would that do for you?
I think it would make my life a lot easier. I think it would just put everything into perspective, make it a good routine for me, and just.
Now, I'd say the big outcome that I'd want to focus on is her getting in the new position. Right. I assume like that's the big motivation for her. And it's something we haven't really talked about too much, if at all, about like her new position, why she wants to be in it, all that fun stuff. And so when we're talking about future pacing, we really want to open it up to like get her excited about moving forward and what that future would look like. I assume that's really going to come down to her getting the position and then doing well in it. What do you think? Oh no, I can't hear you. Oh. Well, Jake dropped off. It's been a great stream. Is he there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, a few things. How would I have phrased that question? Okay. So like, let's say we were able to get you more structure and knowledge in your training, so you felt more motivated, and you're actually able to, confidently go in, pass that test, and get into the police. What would that do for you? Would that be a better way to ask that?
Yep. Yeah. So you tie in like really like more the actual end outcome she wants, which I assume, she gets into the police, whatever like that does for her. But some of the issue is with like just so far in terms of like the biggest gap in this discovery is just like understanding her problem better, of like poking a little bit more holes in what she's currently doing, but then also why does she even want to, go to the police and do this in the first place, or why even switch jobs in the first place? Just so maybe I can have a better understanding, like something along those lines. It'll give you more insight onto what's actually driving her. So then when you're asking more future pace questions, most of the time we're talking about understanding their future pace. It's just a mirror opposite of what their pain is. So their future pace is just a life without their pain. So I assume her biggest pain is she doesn't like her job. I assume. I could be wrong, but I'm going to assume. But we didn't talk about that at all. And so then now when we're talking about future pacing, we just want to mirror that. Like, what would it be like to actually be in a job doing something you actually enjoy, and also being healthy and strong, and you do it well, right? So then you can tie it in too.
Yeah, I think I'd be a lot more happier, a lot more energetic as well, able to get through the day with a lot more energy.
Would it have a positive impact in other areas of your life as well, whether it be obviously work, personal life, anything else?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably all aspects of it. Yeah, I think probably work, personal life,
Have you
everything.
got some examples? Like, I mean, again, if we could imagine that future you, like Emily 2.0, that's like, you're running further, you've got more energy, you're fitter and stronger overall. Like, how would that flow into maybe other areas?
Okay. Yeah.
I think,
and it's a great question. Super great question. Like, hey, you being healthy and fitness, how does this affect other areas? But we already know the biggest area it's going to affect, right? It's like her getting the job. You know what I mean? So it's like you have a cheat code that most other fitness offers don't have. Is your fitness program directly helps them get a job, basically. So just use it. Talk about it.
during the day, like I said, I get really tired. So I think it would make me a lot more alert. I'd be able to do more things. I don't know. It's a hard question. Yeah.
Well, I'm asking
Hope
you
I
all
answered it.
it's okay. I'm asking you all the hard questions today. What's things that you would want to do more of? Maybe like on the weekend, like in your spare time. If you had more energy, you weren't so tired. Like, what do you feel like you do?
I think take my dog more places. I think.
Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
think,
Like,
yeah.
Hiking, going outside. It's summer's coming up.
Yeah, hiking, more beach days.
Cool. And then, like, obviously for the police, I mean, it's going to open up doors there for you to be able to get into that career.
There we go.
Is that a career you wanted to get into for a while, or?
Yeah, long time. Yeah.
How long's a long time?
Oh, probably the last.
I will say, like, you're asking good questions. Just generally speaking, when we are getting into future pace, there should be some change in our demeanor, like some change in, like, us being a little bit more like interested, like lean forward a little bit more, maybe like even, you can crack a smile every now and again, right? Like when they're telling you something that's like, oh yeah, right? To just invite them to open up more, because like it seems like right now she's just like on the edge a little bit of like actually wanting to open up, and you can tell because she's letting out a little bit of like nervous laughter. And if we just kind of lean into it, like smile, it's like, oh yeah, like what would you actually be doing, right? And we just seem a little bit more interested. That's when people really start to open up. So it's like your demeanor kind of stays the same the entire time. Yeah.
Okay, so I need to change my tonality a little bit more in this part.
Yeah,
basically.
just like lean forward, be a little bit more open. That way we're going to get her to be more open too.
Okay.
Okay.
5 or so years.
Okay, wow, that's
Yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted to do it, just never thought I could. And then I was talking with one of my friends, and they said, "Who's a cop?" And they just said, "You just got to do it. Yeah, don't leave it." So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, look, I mean, I want all of those things for you, and I do think that they are achievable with the right approach in place.
It's like 5. She's wanted this for 5 years. Like, whoa, it's interesting. I don't talk to people who's like generally like that's been their thing for 5 years. Why have you been so focused on this for the past 5 years? It's something you're actually wanting to do. Like, why this? And you can just get her to start talking about it more. Get her beneath the surface level of, oh, it's always something I wanted to do, and I just didn't think I could do it, but now I think I can do it. It's a bit surface level. Well, why is it something you've always wanted to do? Like, why is that important to you? Where does that drive come from? Right? And we can just pull a little bit more out of it so we can just have a better conversation overall.
It is important to explore both sides of the coin. And I guess I'm curious, like, what do you feel would happen maybe if you don't make any change? Like you don't get that accountability, that push, that structure that you're looking for, and possibly just keep doing the same thing you have been for another 3-6 months from now. Like, yeah, you go to the gym, you're doing the group classes, some days you're motivated, some days you're not. If this just kind of continued and nothing really changed for you, what would that reality possibly look like?
It would be sad. It would be me not getting into the force and working a job that I don't like.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I mean, should I like, so that consequence question though,
You asked
do I
two
need more?
consequence questions in one.
Did I? And I also need more specificity in that question too, don't I?
Yeah, and I think the problem was you asked like the two questions in one, right? So if we take a look at the structure, right? Just like real quick. Okay, cool. I know how to move it now. This is awesome. Okay. So when we go down to consequence, it's like, hey, I have to ask, if nothing changes your routine, how likely is it that you're going to hit goal in time frame? So you asked, it wasn't as concise, but you asked something pretty similar to that. And then you go, well, what happens if you never actually achieve this? And then you just ask this on the back end of it. So then you asked two of these and they kind of came together. So then you just got, it was just more of a general question then at that point, because we just melded two questions together. But with that in mind, you still did get a good answer. She's like, that would be really sad. And then we just need to bounce off of it. We just need to dig deeper into it.
Wait, so
Because
that structure that you're showing there, is that ask that one or that one, or?
So
you're
it's
supposed to-
one then the other.
Oh,
So I have
okay.
to ask, like, once we get to future pace, like, hey, we run through all the future pace, we understand exactly what they're going through, what they really need, and why that's important to them. Then it's like, okay, well, I do have to ask, if nothing does change in your routine, like, how likely is it that you're going to be able to hit goal in time frame? Now, the reason why I'm typically going to ask that question first is because if you do future pace good enough, like you start to paint a future vision for them really well. If you just go right into, well, what if that never happens? They tend to like, oh, well, that's not going to happen. And they want to hold on to it. So I want to two-step that consequence. Okay. So it's like, hey, I have to ask, if nothing changes your routine, how likely is it that you're going to hit goal in time frame?
I get that a lot on calls. I get people say things like, "Oh, well, I'll keep trying, or I'll do this,
Yeah.
or like,
Yeah.
yeah."
So that's why like this is very, very important. So I want to do goal in time frame. So for her, if the goal was to achieve the passing the exam in 2 months, well, if nothing does change in your routine, you keep doing what you're doing now. What's the likelihood that you're going to be able to pass the exam in 2 months? Oh, it's not likely at all. Well, why isn't it? So I do have to ask, what happens if nothing does change? Another 6 months, 12 months go by, we continue not progress, and we never actually get to be in the job that we truly want. Then I can be a little bit more specific at that point. Does that make sense? Because really, in consequence, right here, what I'm looking for is a tangent, like a really good emotion that they thought about. So I'm really just looking for an emotion. Now she gave you sad, but it was more like a throwaway. Yeah, it would be sad. It's more of like a bumper sticker answer. So when you get these type of like, oh yeah, it'd be sad, we just need to go deeper into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like things will stay the same or it'll be sad. Well, some people, are fine with, just staying the same. What would be the actual day-to-day consequences if you don't get emotional outcome, whatever it is? So you just go a little bit deeper here.
Okay.
Share this tab instead. Dude, now I know how to switch it. Fucking maestro.
Tired and unmotivated,
Okay.
having rest days too often at the gym. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't ask that question to be like a negative Nancy or anything, because I'm a positive person. But it's important to explore. It is a reality, right? Because it's kind of been your
It gets
reality.
you thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, because how long have you been in childcare now?
Probably like 8 years.
8 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, let's say hypothetically missed that opportunity for the police. You're in that job. It sounds to me like 6, 12 months from now, if you were still there, still working that job, still feeling the way you are right now, is that like an outcome that you would be okay with?
No.
Yeah. So it's good that you're like you're going a little bit deeper, but we instead of just a yes or no question, it's like, okay, if a year goes by and we're still stuck in this job, what are the actual day-to-day implications just being stuck in this job? And I'll slow down my cadence to actually get them to think about it. Because that's what I really want them to do at this moment in the sales conversation. I need to get them to think and contemplate so I can get real emotion out of them. So it's like you got decent emotion, but it's still pretty surface level. So we just take it that extra step and we slow ourselves down so to get them to really think about it. Okay.
No.
And why not? Because I mean,
No.
you could be. I mean, some people are.
Yeah. I think I just want more for myself, and I no longer want to work with children. It's just I've come to the realization that it's not something that I really want to pursue. It's not my passion anymore.
Yeah, fuck them kids, bro.
And I've found a new passion, and that's people in another area, the force. So yeah, it would be sad not fulfilling one of my dreams and aspirations. So
Yeah. Okay. Well,
And see, like, just the issue, like, we don't know why she doesn't no longer want to work with children. Like, we'd never explored that, and it seems like that was the main motivator of all of this. Of like, she no longer wants to be at the job, all of that, and it's like, okay, but why? And that's you'll just have a much more pointed conversation, a better future pace of what she gets out of it, and then a deeper consequence too.
to me, it sounds like
So just quickly, and I know because
Mhm.
hopefully this isn't taking too long. I feel like I don't remember this
No, that's not
call
good.
being so long.
Yeah.
How long
Well,
is
it's like
the call?
28 minutes. 28 minutes, the discovery. It's not crazy long. Ideally, like, we shave like 8+ minutes off there, 8 to 10 minutes
Yeah.
off there, keep it a lot more tighter, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. So like, I need to probably start using your script because I'm still using my script. But
Yeah.
even though it's kind of similar in some ways, but so when because the big thing for you is like you're saying to me, I need to be, like what's got you even wanting to like get out of your current job and get into the police? Like, because obviously when I'm asking about what areas of their physical fitness do they need to improve on, because I need them to tell me like what their goals are. Like, I want to get stronger. I need to run faster. I need to lose weight. I need to get better at push-ups, whatever it might be. But like, where do I mix in the question where I say,
okay, this is exactly how you do it. So it's like you get all of that stuff. Like, hey, why are you here? What goals are you really looking for? What do you need to improve? What are you currently doing now? So it's like, and this structure is back there in the vault and everything. The only thing different, instead of you asking about their weight, because that's what most fitness ones are going to ask about, you're just going to ask about like, hey, what do you need? Fitness, like goals, plans, all that stuff, like what you had talked about before. Then you're going to your situation, like, what are you currently doing now? For her, she's doing something, so you're like, hey, why is it not working? And then we dig all that out, and maybe so I have a better understanding, like, why is it actually important for you to, I guess, like, get this or pass this PT role so you can actually land that job. Like, now, though, that's how I'll typically just bridge right into it. After I poke holes in what they're currently doing.
Okay. So it's the why now. It's the why
basically.
now question, but it's tying in the job,
the goal
into the why. Yeah. Okay.
It's their goal. So, because like when you're thinking about this and most fitness, it's just there's pain in them not knowing what to do, but the pain mostly is in them not getting their outcome. And most fitness, that's just like they're not losing the weight, so they're like the pain's in them just being bigger. But for yours specifically, the pain is them stuck in another job, right? So at that point, it's a little bit of a biz op conversation because they need the actual fitness to be able to then get the job that they want. Okay. So you just got to ask, okay, so why is it actually important for you to, I guess, like, get a job in the policing, like, now, though? Oh, well, it's important because I've always wanted to do it, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, and then you can just go wherever it takes you. It's like, oh, well, I don't like my job now. It's tiring, whatever it is.
Okay. And the next section after that is what?
Yeah. So then from there, it's like, okay, after we get that, we fully flush out the problem. Like, hey, how does it feel to be stuck in this job? What's the main reason you might be looking for outside help rather than just trying to figure this out on your own? And then from there, it's like, okay, and before like we started talking today, have you gone out there to look to get actual like hands-on help so you could get XYZ outcome?
Okay.
Or what have you been doing on that front? Now, she did. And that's when we would have talked about that like there, and we could have been more concise, and you would have had all the actual leverage of, her not being able to hit her goals and her being stuck in her job. Like, you'd have like so much to actually work with. And if you needed to push back, you could push back much better because you actually have full context on her problems and what she's running into.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'd run into there. And that's when you would ask her about like what she's doing like what she was doing before. Like, what has she done to actually solve this problem? And then you pre-handle it. You can go into identity if you want. Then we go into future pace and then consequence.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I think you
If
go
I-
into the pitch here. I might skip forward a little bit. I don't know how long the pitch was.
Meal or something and has a barcode. You can scan the barcode. Like the
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm talking about barcodes. That's not good. I even shared my screen on this. I never normally do that. Like,
But like the issue is it's like we kind of opened ourselves up to just be in a convince mode like much earlier in the conversation. So it caused us to be on our back foot.
in the week.
Mm.
And then
focusing
so
on-
yeah, we're going through the program.
skip all of this for both of our sakes, please.
Yeah.
I guess maybe just like probably go to
review the
yeah,
investment of the
price
program. So I know
drop.
you know you were
Okay, there we go. So it's like we're dropping price minute 45. Ideally, we're dropping price minute 30, 35 at the most. Okay, even sooner if we can, as long as we're not skipping steps. But it's not the end of the world if we're dropping price like minute 45.
kind of asking about that before. I can let you know what that looks like. From there, we can figure out what day you'd like to get started and we could get the ball rolling. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, sounds good.
What I personally recommend would be, I mean, I work with people for like 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, but I would recommend just for you to start with like
Can
a
I
12-week
pause for a
program
second?
based on what you've told me. I feel like obviously you've got
Yep.
that.
Yeah, well, actually, you asked me before about when she needed to be ready. She actually needed to be ready in like 4 weeks. Yeah,
Oh,
so
shit.
like she didn't. Yeah, so and I didn't like. I only do like 12-week, 24-week, or 12-month programs. So yeah,
Yeah. Well,
just-
and this will be recorded, by the way. Yeah.
keep going.
Timeline. I know that you have high hopes for the end of November, and I'm not going to say it's impossible, but you know, we would really grind hard for that. But you also, you know, I know that like, heaven forbid you miss the mark. Obviously, they'll give you another date, maybe in a month or something. So you know, we don't want that to happen, but like, if it does, you know, it's not the end of the world.
And then I would just make it to where it's like, but if you do pass, then we can just prepare to make sure we're feeling as good as possible on the actual job and we're, good and strong, all that fun stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
But 12 weeks is going to give you a good amount of time to be able to not only get fitter and stronger, but really start creating habits around like the training that we're doing. Because it's not about 12 weeks, you know, it's about setting yourself up for maintaining this even after the program's finished.
Yeah.
You see the logic behind that time frame?
Yeah. 12 weeks is a good amount of time.
Okay, cool. So for that, like everything that we spoke about today, which is the custom workouts, the support and accountability, and the nutrition, if you were to knock it over in like a 1 or 2 pay, I could do the full 3 months for $12.50. But if you do want to break it up, we do have the option to break it up as well. It just means that you're gonna save yourself like $250 over the course of the 3 months if you decided to knock it over in like a 1 or 2 payment. So
Okay.
do you have any questions on that?
So what would that equal to be a week?
Yeah, so weekly, if you did it weekly,
God, making you do math.
it'd be $125 a week.
Okay. I just would need to weigh things up and let you know kind of thing. But I can do that soon because we want to get the ball rolling. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What is
and
I read about your 8-week one as well.
8 week.
Do you do 8 weeks?
I
Or is
don't know
12 weeks minimum? Maybe I just read 12 weeks.
I don't normally do 8 weeks, but I mean, like maybe it's on the website. I'm not sure. But like for you, I guess. Well, 2 questions. As far as
Is there any particular reason why you ask, right? Like, I just need to get beneath that. Now, I assume what one of the problems is there's a bit of a value. She's like, I really want to push it for this 4 weeks. I don't know if I want to pay for 3 months, basically. Right. So I assume that's what we're running into there. Like, we didn't really make too much of an argument in case like she passed on like why it would be beneficial for her to still do 12 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
like weighing it up goes, like what's that in reference to? Is that in reference to like the value you feel like you're getting, or just like what's in the bank, like budget wise?
Budget wise.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And yeah, because I know you said that that's a consideration, and like it needs to make sense logistically. But money aside, like if we found a solution that was doable for you, do you feel like this would be the answer for you?
I think so. Yeah, it would. It's very hard at the moment. I think 125 when I was paying the last, like, you're very knowledgeable and you've got a lot of experience behind you. So it's the reason why it's so high. But I was paying 75 my last program and I thought that was a lot. So
Okay.
it's just
Look,
something I need to weigh up. with
Yeah.
So
every
like
event.
immediately we are like, hey, money aside, would you do it? And she goes, I think so. Yeah, I would. She's a little bit iffy, but she's still like step forward. But then she's going right back to the price. So we just need to make sure we again isolate the price and then double down. Let's say, and we can figure out the investment. Like that's the easy part. But why would you actually do it though? And we just need to get deeper. So it's like we don't talk too much about the price because that's what we're trying to isolate right now.
Look at how I can manage that.
Yeah,
financially.
No, I get it. Like again, working together is there to help you, not to break the bank or make your life harder, right? So just coming back to what you said, like if you could figure out the money stuff, if we found a solution that was like more digestible for you, would you just go ahead and do it?
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why make that investment for
good.
yourself?
I think I need to. I don't have a choice. I want to get there. So
But, you don't need to, right? I mean, you could keep working in childcare.
no, but that's not an option really. So
Oh, well, you
Yeah.
want.
No.
Okay. You know, if just trying to think, because the 125, obviously that's for the two calls a month, right?
Mhm.
I do have another tier of coaching that just basically all the 3 pillars are the same.
Okay,
nothing
so
changes.
instead of
so
us
now,
then
so
just
now,
going
now,
straight,
I'm doing a
Yeah,
down
we're just
sell
going
now.
straight for
I
the
shouldn't
down
have done
sell.
that.
So then
Yeah.
from there, I'll either do like, hey, like I'll do a reframe, or I'll just go to like, hey, money's the easy part. We can figure that part out. The hard part is you committing to change. Are you committed to change? Yes. And then I just want to find out what she has. So I'm going to say, okay, bills, expenses aside, let's focus on what you can do, not what you can't do. What are you actually working with? Just to see if I can help. The reason is right now we're in negotiation, and how you lose all leverage in negotiation if you just let them know what you have. She has all the leverage because she's like, oh, like that's just a bit much for me. She's not really showing her cards. So I want to know what her cards are. Because like if she's saying like, oh, like really I can only spend like $400 like a month. And so like you're overshooting it by, $100 per se. Right. You know what I mean? I'll just have a much better insight on what I'm going to then present next versus like, oh, I have $50 in my bank account. Like it's just a wildly different conversation. Or she does have the money, she just doesn't know if she wants to spend that much. Wildly different conversation. So I just want to understand what she has first before I talk about down sells or anything. I'm only going to downsell when they're like, bro, I got this much money in my bank account and what can we do with it? It's like, okay, if you can do that, I can do this.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's a reciprocal thing.
The only thing that's different is the frequency of the calls that you can book in. So instead of doing 2 calls a month, it would just be 1 call a month. But you still have
Probably
message
like
support, you still have
lost
Facebook group, so you still get the support and
like,
accountability that way.
lost
And,
authority.
Yeah.
Probably like lost,
It's like we're
lost more
just,
authority.
yeah, downselling right
Yeah.
away. Just never a good time.
I went-
right.
I mean, because like she agreed and everything, and she's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
need to do it." So like, I should have just been like, "Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like, what can you do? Like, let's figure this out, and then we can just see if it's something she can fit in. Could she not fit in? Is there something you could do? Could she go? Aussies don't really have too much of credit, right? I don't know about that, but you can see like what other ways she can do, like come up with the funds.
for that, I could actually do it for 90 a week instead of the 125. So I could bring it down. It's still going to be a little bit more than what you were paying. But the only reason why I'm even offering that to you is because just based on what you've told me, you love everything that we've talked about. It really is just the finances. And, to be honest, like because you've got a timeline and stuff, and I know that you're really focused on that test, if you would feel better about just coming in and doing an 8-week block, I don't normally do 8 weeks. I normally do 12, 24 or the 12 months. But if we did the 8 weeks and then like at the end of that 8 weeks, you've got more time, you're not already off to the academy, you're loving the progress, which you will be, you'll have the ability to just continue working on like a month-to-month basis after that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that as a possible solution, like get you into the 8 weeks at the 90 a week?
Definitely a possibility. Again, I just have to weigh up everything and let you know because I'd have to go through all of my like bills and what's coming out and just come up with my schedule. But it definitely sounds good. So I just have to let you know later.
Yeah, like what do you mean bills, schedule? Like and that's why we needed to get more into like the nitty gritty before we start to just talk about payment plans.
Tomorrow, I'll let you know. But
I'm
I can go through.
I'm not going to start a timer. Don't worry, it's all good.
Good.
Let me ask you this though. Like, let's say you go away, you get your calculator out, you do all this stuff. What happens if maybe, for some reason the numbers don't add up or whatever? Like, would this just be dead in the water, or like would we still find a way to make it work?
We could find a way to make it work. But it would just depend on my family maybe helping me out or something like that. So I'd have to just ask them. But there's possibly a way.
Well,
I just have to.
you know the saying, where there's a will, there's a way, right? But like,
Yeah.
what are some ways, like if you could think about it, because you know your situation better than I do, like what are some ways that you could possibly find the funds so that you can get that help in place and make sure that, you know, you're not
Okay.
staying stuck and missing.
The only issue with, like, this is good going down this train. The only issue is we still don't know what she has. Okay, so it's like it's a little bit premature, but after you know what she has, and she, like, let's just say there's just no way for her to physically do this. This is where you'd go next. We're just missing a step.
Okay.
that opportunity to get into the police.
Yeah, it just have to be a matter of having a chat with family and seeing. But yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely check in that. Yeah.
No, okay, I appreciate it. I mean, it's, you know, what's like some people, I don't know,
So-
some people use like a line of credit. I don't know if you
Mhm.
have anything like that.
It's like people, like they make up a decision in their head that like they're not making a decision right now, like no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's also because I haven't asked the right questions and I haven't
Yeah.
found out what she has, right? So that makes it hard.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, like and again, we don't know what she has. We don't have her like we don't really have the leverage right now in this conversation. And part of it as well is just because we didn't really get the true problems and everything out of the conversation too, right? Like that's also a
Mhm.
key aspect. But at this point, okay, what I'm going to do is like let's just say we get to the very end, it's logistical money, they don't have it. It's like, hey, what are some other ways? Like, oh, I can go ahead and talk to family. Okay, when do you feel like you could talk to family? Do you feel like, you know, this is something they would actually help you out with? I know everyone's family is different. I'm going to explore that a little bit more to see if she's just like blowing smoke up my ass, or if it's actually something that's viable. Okay, if it's something that's viable, not viable, it doesn't matter. I just want to understand to see if like, hey, if that's part of the game plan moving forward, if I can't create anything else. Then from there, I'm going to say like, okay, not an issue. Can I share with you what other successful clients have done when they're in their similar situation? And then from there, I'm going to, like, they always say yes. And then I'm going to give them options. Okay. Whether it be, are there like easy credit options for Aussies?
No, I mean, we Australians do get access to finance. Yes, actually,
Yeah.
well, just FYI,
Uh-huh.
maybe this would be a learning thing for some people that are watching, but like Stripe offers financing through like Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay
Okay.
and that, but only to like a US Stripe account. US customers can use it.
Yeah.
An Australian Stripe account. So I actually have a US Stripe account and an Australian Stripe account. So yeah,
Nice.
if I was on my Australian Stripe account, I would be able to do it with.
So could you do that with her?
Yeah, I could. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like then that's what you'd go into. So it's like
Yeah.
and so then you're just gonna offer up financing. It's like, hey, can I share with you what other clients in a similar situation what they would do? And they're like, oh yeah, for sure. It's like, okay, so what they'll actually do is we do have a couple like third-party financing options. Now it does depend on what you actually get access to. But if you, a family member or co-signer, typically if you have a credit score above 680 or above, you'll tend to get approved for that. And what that will do is it'll allow you to split it up much more. So you get access to the training right away. And then once you're in the better job, right? Like, you know, once the PT's working, you get into the job, all you're going to do is just pay it down early. There's no penalty to pay it off early. Do you think something like that would help you? And they'll be like, oh yeah, that helps. So it's like, you just need to give them the option that this is something that she can do. I'm also going to put out there, it's like, hey, you, a family member or a co-signer, if they have this credit score above, typically you get approved for that. So I'm already planting in her head, if she doesn't have the credit, she's going to ask somebody who does have the credit, and then she'll just pay it down with her card. Okay.
It's good.
Cool.
At your disposal, or
No, I've got a mortgage, so I just
No.
pay. Yeah, through that. I've never used credit or anything like that.
like a credit card, anything?
No.
No. Okay. Probably a good thing.
No.
Probably.
Yeah.
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 What about like maybe?
See, it's like I want to give her that. Yeah, it's probably a good thing you've never used credit, right? Because it's a really viable option that's like she could get in, and it's like with Klarna, it's like 0 down for the first month, and then like after that, like for something with what you do, she could probably get the $1,250 for like $100 a month, some shit like that, right? Like crazy cheap. So I wouldn't poo-poo the idea just like right away. Now, I'm always going to position it on like, hey, do you want to know what other people who live in your similar situation, what they do? Because I always just want to use the weight of the crowd to like make the idea more appealing of like using credit. Because it's also a great way for her to do it because she's going to get a higher paying job once she gets to PT anyways, and then she could pay it off early. It's like $1,200 bucks. It's like nothing.
Because I think with my payment processing that I use, we could maybe even use like Afterpay or something where you could sort of like buy now, pay later, or space that out. Would that maybe be a solution that would be worth
Yeah, I
investigating?
could look into that. I've always said I don't believe in it, but I could look into it.
Well, again, I'm a solutions guy. You know, what's most important to me is that you feel confident what we've spoken about today can get you where you want.
Yeah, I think leave it with me. I'll send you a message
But it's
tomorrow.
again, it's all about positioning. It's like, hey, Afterpay, buy now, pay later. It's like, if we're gonna just position it, even like this, the simplest way, it's like, hey, what most people will do is they'll use something like Afterpay that's buy now, pay later, to where you don't have to pay anything up front, but there's no penalty for paying it off early. So once you actually get in the better role, your pay increases, everything along those lines. You're just gonna pay it off early. Do you think you could do that?
Yeah, just positioning it better.
Yeah, you just need to position it better. And then if she says like, "Oh, like I don't believe in that," it's like, "Oh, like what do you mean by that?" Right? That's an objection that you should handle, because then like now we know what the actual objection is at that point is her willingness to use credit. Then that's the only thing you need to handle. If you handle and you get her to overcome like her willingness to use credit, she gets started right away, and then she's all good.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
That's it. So that's why we can then drill it down.
And I'll have a chat with my family because I'm at their house at the moment. So I'll go through and I'll let them know everything that we've spoken about and get back to you as quick as I can.
Bullshit.
All good.
Yeah.
Look, what are you thinking though? Like, are you thinking that the 1 call a month for the 8 weeks would be a good starting point for
I
you?
think that would be
And
probably
then we
the
just set
best
the follow
option.
up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, give
I
us
think
I'll
I
go
said
through
it. Yeah.
everything and
Set a
see if I can
follow
do
up,
it,
and
if not, then I'll
she
reach out to
cancelled
family,
it.
so.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Well,
Yeah. Like at the end, it seemed like it was a money objection. And really, how we're going to overcome it is like, number one, understand what she has. And then we just offer the financing in a better position. But even if you offer it in a better position, you'll still get pushback. It'll still happen. But then that's something you have to fight for. Of like, hey, do you know the difference between good credit and bad credit? It's like, yes, no, it doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, well, it's like bad credit, according to like people like Dave Ramsey and all the financial gurus out there, is like if you take a credit card, you buy shoes, you buy the TV, but how much of that actually extends your life and actually puts you in a position to make more money? Yeah, none of it, right? Good credit, according to all the biggest businesses out there, real estate investors, is when you take other people's money and you invest in an asset or a skill set that makes you more money and helps you like live longer, right? So would you actually be willing to use good credit so that way you could get whatever she wanted? Like at least you can fight for it. That would then been the crux of the issue. If we would have been able to overcome that, even with like some of the mistakes we made in the discovery, like that's still a sale. Okay. But in terms of like the discovery, I would just say probably just getting onto the problem earlier, getting onto the real problem of like, why does she want to get into the job? Right. Like that seemed to be the biggest thing. And then that would have made the rest of the conversation flow a lot better. And if she tries to put the focus on you like too early, just put it to the side and just go back to where you were. So that way you can get more leverage. And that way, when you do talk about what she's done in the past, you can push back because you actually have more information that, she's been wanting to be a police officer for 5 years and she hasn't yet. And she's going to say like, oh, this person texted me too much. Fuck. Right. Like you can like skeptically like push back on like, well, hold on. Right. Like what's going on over here? Okay. So that's what I would say in terms of like the discovery. Things you do really well. Like you're really good in terms of like keeping the call going. You didn't get bogged down too much. Really good composure. You do come across like an authority. All those things are really good. I just feel like there's just a couple mishaps there. And then just at the end, the real thing we just needed to handle is I just won't use credit.
Yeah, and I just think I think for me my like takeaways is probe more on things. Like you said, told me an example of what do you say? Like when she said She said something earlier on, and you were like, "Oh, how do you
She
mean
was
by that?"
stuck. Yeah, she was like stuck. Well, what do you mean by that?
Oh,
Or
yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
oh, yeah, like just the
yeah.
more bumper sticker answers. Like
So,
get
so
deeper
like,
on those.
yeah, don't accept. I feel like I'm better. I feel like I try not to accept vague answers, but I feel like some of them slip
Mhm.
through sometimes still.
Yeah,
And then yeah, way more specificity with my
Yeah.
questions in problem and also in like consequence, I think.
yeah, for sure. Right. But yeah, still a decent call, right? So if we fix those few things, I feel like we just have better time overall.
Okay. It's helpful.
Hell yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Well, you can hop. I'm just going to answer some questions here. If people have any questions, and I'll probably hop too. It's almost
Yeah,
1:30
I'm
a.m.
scared.
my
I'm
time.
scared to press any buttons on this thing because I don't know how to use this damn StreamYard. But I think
Yeah,
it's the
no
Lead
worries.
Studio will be the safe one.
Yeah. All right. See you, bro.
All right, man.
Bye.
Take care.
All right, cool guys. Hopefully that call review was helpful. Apologies if I had a little bit of connective issues. Internet here in Vietnam, kind of hit or miss. I don't know if you would have guessed it. It's a little bit hit or miss. But if you have any particular questions, you can go ahead and comment. If not, I'll just go ahead and I'll hop here soon. But I don't see any questions popping in. But if you have any questions, go ahead, pop them down below, and I'll answer any questions you guys have. If not, I'll hop off. All right, probably lay down. 1:20 a.m. my time, but I'm wired. I'm good to go. I've had so much caffeine today. All right. Any questions, guys? No? Okay, cool. If no questions, definitely see you guys later. And if you like this stuff, go ahead, make sure, leave some comments. Tell me what else you'd want me to review. So I've done, BizOp. I think I've done 2 BizOps and a fitness one. Oh. Yeah. So my wife is originally from Vietnam. So that's why I'm here in Vietnam, because she recently had our firstborn. So I just she wanted to be closer to family when we have our child, since I'm gonna be working a lot. So and she's gonna be doing an overwhelming majority of the baby taking care of work. So decided to move to Vietnam. Vietnam's not too bad, generally speaking, but yeah, the internet's a little hit or miss. The time zone's a little wonky, but yeah. So my wife is originally from here. She's also American citizen, so that's fun too. But yeah, in case you were wondering, if you ever visit, I don't know, I'm in Nha Trang. I'm in a beach city. It's just weird. There's there's hammer and sickles, just out and about, which I think's funny. But other than that, I haven't really done much here. There's a lot of Russian people here. So you see a lot of white people, or at least for me, you see white people who look like you. None of them speak English. They'll come up and try to talk to you in Russian, and you're like, no clue. All right, cool, guys. Well, if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop here. All right, I'll see you guys on the next stream. All right, peace.